South African farmers and farming lobby groups have issued a formal legal demand to the country's Minister of Agriculture, John Steenhuisen, to confirm whether farmers may procure and administer foot and mouth disease or FMD vaccines privately or to cite the exact legal clauses blocking them from doing so. The group, which comprises of Sakeliga, the Southern African Agri Initiative, or Saai, the Free State Agriculture, argue that the state's centralised control over the vaccination process is failing and that the restrictions preventing private farmers from protecting their own herds are unlawful and irrational. To hear more, we're joined on the line now by Francois Wilken, the president of Free State Agriculture. Francois, a good morning to you and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity.
So let's start maybe before we delve deeper into the issue with the Minister of Agriculture to differentiate between the human foot and mouth disease for which there is no broad vaccine. That's not what we're talking about today, but the one that affects animals is very crucial that they get their vaccines. But which animals are affected by FMD?
It's actually all split hoof animals like cattle, sheep, pigs, and goats. I must stress it that the foot and mouth for animals is not transferable to people, and it's not there's no anything that can make that people can acquire that. And also the meat and milk from infected animals are safe for human consumption.
We understand also that this is the season that foot and mouth disease becomes a challenge for the country. So how has the industry, as particularly your section, been affected?
Yes, we must say that we were a foot and mouth free country for many, many years. And in 2019, it came out of the red zone, as we call it, in the eastern parts of Mpumalanga and the northern parts of Natal. And in 2021, there was an outbreak, the first outbreak in the Free State. And although it's a state-controlled disease, we feel that the state at this moment are not capable of handling the situation very well. So what we do, we ask the minister to let the private sector acquire their own vaccines, and within the system, can vaccinate their cattle. And all we ask for the minister, on which laws does he prohibit the farmers to do that? Because the protocols and the rules that were written for a country foot and mouth free, and now there's a big outbreak, and that is the problem. They can't control it, because in my region, the state vet asked the farmers can't they help her with a vehicle and fuel to do a job. So the state hasn't got the capacity to do that.
So the key issues are around the legalities.
Yes, but because we are prohibited at the moment, so they only say to us, but it's the law. So we ask them, give us the laws under which you prohibit us to do that ourselves.
You've emphasized that the minister needs to give forthright and direct answers to your questions and your concerns to make clear whether there's an actual dispute. Currently, what is the status then, would you say, between the Ministry of Agriculture, Sakeliga, Saai, and Free State Agriculture?
We are waiting here till this afternoon, 5 o'clock, to respond to our questions. He replied in the media on some of the things we asked him, but we want the legal letter from him saying what we actually asked him.
Botswana on Wednesday announced suspected cases of foot and mouth disease in its northeast district, prompting immediate animal movement restrictions and a swift government response there. Now, in the case of South Africa, we still rely on the Botswana Vaccine Institute, or BVI, for FMD vaccines, even though there were plans last year to cut the imports. To what extent can individual farmers legally bypass the state gatekeeping, all these red tapes, to procure vaccines directly from BVI?
We actually want the Argentinian vaccines because it's better. It's all oil based and it's only one vaccine, one shot, and the problem may be solved. And then yearly after that, that's what we ask the minister. Why can't we acquire that ourselves? We don't want to do it outside of the system and the control of that. We just want to acquire that ourselves because we are afraid of we know what happened in COVID, how many illegal uh, things happened in COVID. So we just want to acquire that ourselves. The state can't control it because they haven't got the capacity to do that.
If the minister fails to respond by the end of the week, what will your next step be?
Now, then we will declare a dispute, and maybe we can get a court order for him to respond to what we ask him.
The leftover vaccines from veterinarians, state veterinarians, could that be a compromise to be given to private farmers?
There are no vaccines in the hands of the state veterinarians. So we need about, they said there are 2 million cattle vaccinated. We've got a stock of